What we're going to do, we're going to start with some examples. Okay? So let's start with an example, and I'm going to need you to write this so it makes sense. We're going to start with an example. Now, you were all in here for my last message, so let's say you've gone through all of the steps with the customer, and you are in a situation where your customer has one item that they want for $70. Write that down. They want one Cutco item for $70. Okay. So we're going to talk about the concept of dropping up. Now what this means is you're going to leverage the customer's purchasing power and time into right now. So here's your scenario. The customer wants a $70 item. That's all they can afford today. But if they are married, age 30 to 60, and the homeowner, how often do people get paid? Some people get paid weekly. Most people get paid every 2 weeks. And some people get paid once a month. But can we agree that everyone at least gets paid monthly?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I can afford $70 today, doesn't that also mean I can afford $70 next month? I'm going to get paid again. I'm going to have the same expenses again. And I'm going to arrive at the same conclusion 30 days in advance of right now that I can spend $70. Right? So, this option is called dropping up. Your customer wants to get this $70 item. And then you're like, okay, cool, Ms. Jones, I'll go ahead and add this $70 Cutco purchase for you. But Ms. Jones, let me show you where I can give you more for your money. $70 on 5-pay is a $350 order. So if they can afford 70 this month, they can afford 70 next month, and they can afford 70 the month after that, all the way out to 5 months in the future. So you show them the option where you go, Ms. Jones, you can purchase this $70 item today for $70 and get one Cutco piece. Write that down, $70 for one piece. And then you're going to write the word or, O-R. Or you can pick out $350 worth of Cutco. I will give you another $75 worth of Cutco for free, and you'll still spend $70 today. 75. So Ms. Jones is looking at a one order for one piece of Cutco for $70. And you're going to say, Ms. Jones, yeah, we can do that right now for $70. I'll write it up. Or, O-R, write that, circle it. Or, for the same amount of money today, you can pick out $350 worth of Cutco, and I'll give you another $75 worth of Cutco for free. So you're going to get $425 worth of Cutco today for $70. Now here's why this makes sense. Because when you think about a Cutco sale, you know that you're thinking long term, and it's, you know, $300-something looks like a lot. But it's not, because they're only paying a fifth right now. So you got to understand, that's how a customer thinks about their expenses. Okay? How much is your cell phone bill? How much is your cell phone bill? 60 bucks? 80 bucks? 100 bucks? Let's say your cell phone bill is 50 bucks a month. You pay $600 a year. Forever. So 10 years, you'll spend $6,000 on that cell phone bill. You don't think about it that way, do you? You spend $50 a month. When people buy a home, they don't buy a $50,000 car right now. They buy a $50,000 car that they spend $400 a month on. See how this works? So the payment is what's really important. Not the giant size of the sale. The amount they're spending right now is what everyone looks at. This is why you have more payment plan orders than orders paid in full. And I would venture to guess that when you get those one-piece orders and the customer doesn't use a payment plan, it's because they misunderstand what a payment plan is. You know what a payment plan is? For most people, a payment plan is, I have to pass a credit check and you're gonna charge me interest. That's how it works. You get a car loan, they charge you interest and there's a credit check. When you buy a home, there's a credit check and interest. When you go buy a dishwasher, there's a credit check and interest. Does your customer know there's no credit check, no interest? You gotta tell them. They probably change their mind. So if that customer who's gonna buy $70 knew that they can buy $70 every month, no interest, no credit check, how do they do it? Even if they don't, you got a $70 sale. But if they do, you just increase your sale 5-fold just by showing that option. Now, you gotta be mindful of the way your payment plans work. An order over $300 can be split 5 ways. An order over $150 can be split 3 ways. And an order over $50 can be split in half. So this works for virtually anything if you're mindful of the way the payments work. Let's say, does anybody have a price list with them? Forgive me, prices have changed like 12 times since I've been a manager. What is the price of a table knife? 39? 39. Okay, so let's do the math together. 39 times 5, we'll round it up to 40 for easy math. 40 times 5 is 200. I'm not at the 5-pay threshold, so I can't use the 5-pay on that particular order. That customer who wants that one table knife, so let's do some more math, okay? $40 times 3 is 120. We can't even do a 3-pay. Okay, well, what can we do? We can take that $39 order and we can turn it into almost an $80 order. You can double the size of your order because you can go, okay, Ms. Jones, well, look, you can pay $39 for one table knife today, or you can pay $39 for 2 table knives today. I'll give you double for your money. You're like, well, what do you need? I go, well, you pay $39 this month and $39 next month. You can work $39 into your budget, right? She's like, yeah. Well, you'll get 2 table knives instead of 1. You'll have double the Cutco. Maybe your customer wants to get a chef knife. Chef knife's $134, and I'll pay for it in full. This customer can afford an Essentials Plus 5, almost a galley. Ms. Jones, you can pay $134 for the chef knife today, or you can pay $134 for the entire Essentials Plus 5 set, and I'll give you free super shears. You're spending the same money, $134 for 1 knife, or $134 for 8 knives. What will work better? You'll be surprised how many people take the other option. Because again, remember, they don't think like we do. They think in terms of monthly budgets. If I can spend $134 right now, I can spend $134 next month, I can spend $134 the month after that. What if I get a pinch next month? There's an unexpected expense. That $134 payment. Is the world going to come crashing down because that $134 got spent already? No. I am married, 30 to 60, and a homeowner. I am the age group of one of your customers. I'll tell you what they do. They just go out to eat 1 time less. That's it. Now it works. We just eat at home and watch Netflix instead of going to the studio movie grill. Save $90. There's half my payment. Nothing changed. That's it. This is how your customer thinks. If I want a homemaker plus 8, maybe I can't spend 12, but if I can spend $260 a month and buy 3 knives from you, I can spend $260 a month and get the whole set from you over the course of 5 months. All I have to do is give up eating out 1 time a week. That's it. Now I can afford it. I didn't spend any more money, I just chose to spend my money differently. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's do another example. And I know this is more mechanical. This is something you got to write down to kind of see how it works. Let's say you got a customer who wants 4 table knives. What's 4 table knives? 150? 156? I knew Jonathan. 156. All right, so customer goes, hey, you know what? This is all well and good. I just want this $156 set of table knives. So you're going to say, no problem, Ms. Jones. We can write that up for you, or we can do this galley set for you, and I'll give you the 4 table knives for free. What? Yeah. We'll keep your payment the same. You pay the same amount today, and the same amount over the course of 5 months. Those 4 knives that you wanted, you'll get them, but you'll get an entire set with it. The whole galley set, we'll give you the 4 table knives for free. Spend the same amount of money today. No interest, no credit check. Will that work? See, now they're thinking, so spend this much for just these knives. If I can spend this much this month, I can spend the same amount every month, and I'll get everything I really want. And that works. That's really it. That's how it works. And you just show the option. You'll probably notice 3 or 4 times out of 10 they'll take the bigger option. Now, if you do, let's see here, what's your number of demos that you want to do for the push? You're probably going after 40 demos is probably your number. So if this increases your sale on 3 or 4 of your demos, well, if you're doing 40 demos at 16 sales, let's say this adds $300. Guys, that's $4,000 in extra CPO just by adding this line. What's the worst that can happen? They say no and you get the sale for 1 piece. But if they say yes, $4,000 in upside potential. That can be the difference between winning the limo night or not. At 20%, that's $800 in extra income by adding 1 phrase to the end of your demo. Okay? I'm not sure how much time I have. We probably have time for 1 or 2 questions. Any questions on how this works specifically? Okay. Good. You got it. It's real simple. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Good job, Eric. So at this point, I'll just introduce myself. My name is Matt. How's everybody? How's everyone like the meeting so far? Good. Okay. So I'm going to talk about the phones today. The phones, how to make phone calls. By the way, after this message, you guys will never look at the phone the same way ever again. How many of you guys love the phones? Yeah, like 2 people, right? Like, I remember when I was new, I hated the phones. Like, it was the worst part of the job. I would go, like, in my office, I would find some room that my manager couldn't find me, so I didn't, like, he didn't hear me make phone calls or anything like that because I was so nervous. Some of you guys are laughing because that's you, right? Okay, so what's going to happen after I give this message, you're going to love the phones, I promise. I promise you, okay? That's a promise from me to you. Okay, so I want you guys to write a couple things down. I want you to write down, Nice People by Cutco. Nice People by Cutco. By the way, I'm going to use my notes today just so I don't miss anything. Is that okay? Okay, cool, thanks. The second thing I want you to write down is phoning equals money. Phoning equals money. Okay, so here's how I want you guys to look at the phone, okay? if you're at 30-30, right? So some of you guys are probably going to be there at the end of the push, whatever. Even if you're not there, we're just going to use these numbers. So if you have a $300 average order, a 60% closing ratio, and you do 10 demos, that's $1,800 in sales. That would equal $580 in income. Now, would you guys agree with me that if you made 100 calls, you'd probably get at least 10 demos set up? Right, okay. So if you were to take 100 phone calls and divide it by $580, that means every single time you dial the phone, even if someone didn't book with you, you could count that as like $5.80 that you made.
We've had some challenges.
Oh.
People, we can't. Can you guys hear him? Yeah. Sorry, it's just we're having our meeting on the floor right here. Just so we can have both at the same time.
Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
I like this better anyways, because I speak from my diaphragm. So that means every phone call you would make every single phone call, even if someone doesn't book with you, that's $5.80 that you make. Does that make sense? So every time you dial the phone, you should just think about this. Oh man, I just made $5.80. Has anyone ever thought about it that way before? No? Have you? That's cool. You probably make a lot of phone calls then. He's like, yeah, I do. So phoning equals money. And even if you're not at 30%, cut it in half. Like even $250 on a paycheck, you make 100 phone calls. That means every single time that you dial the phone, that's $2.50 that you make, even if someone doesn't book with you. All right, so who's excited about phone calls now? Oh yeah, more hands, I like it. Okay, all right. All right, so I got a couple quick tips for you guys. Nothing crazy, nothing hard. Number one is just acknowledge before you start making phone calls, acknowledge that it's gonna take more effort than you think. Acknowledge that it's gonna take more effort than you think. So, I tell my people, work off a 10-to-1 ratio. A 10-to-1 ratio, meaning for every 10 phone calls you make, expect to get one set up. A 10-to-1 ratio, okay? So, if you want to get 10 demos booked, how many phone calls should you expect to make when you sit down? 100, okay? 100 phone calls. So that's a big thing. So, a couple things that you want to have as far as the setup goes when you're making phone calls. I always have my people just make a list. So organize your list before you make calls. You don't want to just be like flipping through random pieces of paper or flipping through your rec book. Make a list of all the people you want to call on the TAC list. If you get to 100 people on your list, you can feel pretty good about booking 10 demos, right? Cool. Next thing is you want to have your schedule set up in front of you. So have all the non-negotiables crossed out of your schedule. And then just put in the times that you want to get filled up. Pretty simple. So you've got the times you want to fill up, you've got your attack list, and then can anyone guess what the last thing you want to have in front of you is? Your manual, right? Or whatever phone approach. Now, here's I want to give you guys a thing. Like for me, when I was, after I was newer in the business, but I had out of my fast start, done my first push, I asked my manager for a phone approach that really made me feel comfortable. So if you're like not comfortable with what you're saying to your customers, go to your manager, talk to them, and say, hey, do you have a phone approach that would work for me? And I promise you, we've got I know I have a whole file full of different phone approaches that you can use. Find one that you really like. If you like your phone approach, if you like what you're saying to your customers, are you gonna feel better about making phone calls? Yes, okay, so do that. Second thing is make sure that you understand that objections are part of the job. Objections are part of the job. So here's how I want you guys to start looking at objections. A lot of y'all probably feel very comfortable going through your approach and you feel very good about it, but the one thing that you don't feel good about is, man, I hope they don't ask me anything. I hope they don't ask me a question. I hope they don't give me an objection. Has anyone ever felt like that before? Right? You're like, oh, I'm nailing it. They're listening to me. Please, God, don't ask me a question, right? Okay, cool. Well, here's how I want you guys to start viewing objections, okay? I want to let you know that no matter how good your phone approach is, no matter how confident you sound, no matter what your technique is, you're never going to avoid objections. By the way, avoiding objections should not be desirable. An objection is the logical response to an unsolicited request. It's a logical response to an unsolicited request. So, simply stated, the objection represents your customer's part of the conversation. It's their part of the conversation, right? You called them, right? So, why is it a bad thing if they ask you a couple questions? Is it a bad thing? No. All you have to do is feel comfortable in handling the objections. So, objections are supposed to happen, and the only prospect can overcome their own objections. Only they can overcome it, okay? Your job is just to help them find a solution. Does that make sense? So, objections are a good thing. And they're only a good thing, by the way, if you know how to handle it. And here's the thing. Most of your customers, like, they're not going to give you anything random. Like, what are the objections you get on the phone? Like, what is Cutco? What's another objection you get?
What's Petco?
Petco, right? I love when they say that. How many of you have gotten a customer who says, like, I'm really busy, right? Okay, no brainer there, right? Or, like, I'm not interested. Has any of your customers ever told you that? Right, okay. So we already know beforehand that they're going to give us these objections, right? So why should we freak out when the customer gives it to us? I think the only reason people freak out is because they don't really know how to handle objections. I'm going to give you guys the goods on handling objections. You guys ready for this? Like, literally after I go through this stuff, you're going to be like texting your manager, like, hey, do you mind if I make a few phone calls real quick? Like, you're going to be ready for it. Okay. So, let's tackle them one by one. All right, so how many of you guys have had a customer that says, I'm busy? Okay. Here's how I handle it. Okay, I like to make people laugh. I like to make people smile. I feel like if I'm having fun on the phone and the customer's smiling, they're going to be able to book with me, right? So if a customer says, let me role play with someone. Daniel's brother, right? What was your name, Matt? All right, Matt. I'm going to call you, and I want you to say I'm busy. All right. So would 4:30 or 6:30 work better for you?
I'm busy, man.
Oh my gosh, thank God you're busy. I hate people that aren't busy. They like take up all my time. Is that just a bad day or a bad time?
It's just a bad day, man.
It's just a bad day, okay. So what day are you free?
It's Saturday, but I think I might be busy.
In the morning or the afternoon?
I'm more busy in the morning.
In the morning? Well, hey, I can squeeze you in on Saturday at 6:30 in the evening, or would 8:30 p.m. be better for you?
My daughter's volleyball game starts at 6 o'clock. I just remembered.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So
I'm just
How
gonna
about
keep on
Sunday?
giving projections.
how about Sunday?
We got church in the morning, and then we go back that night for.
Do you work during the week?
Yeah, I work from 9 a.m. to about 5 p.m.
What do you usually do after work?
Hang out with the family and eat dinner.
Cool. Hey, would it be cool if I come over at 6:30? I can make sure to bring some things for dinner.
All right, sounds good. What are you gonna bring for dinner?
I don't know. Do you drink beer?
Yeah, I drink
All
beer.
right, sweet. Okay.
Bud Light.
By the way, I like that. Like, hey, if they say I'm busy, that's fine. So thank God, I hate seeing people that aren't busy, right? By the way, how many of your friends like ever call you and they say, well, that's like, hey man, what are you doing tomorrow? I just hate that question. I do. It's like, what do you want from me? Like, are you taking it Friday, right? So realize like your customers probably feel the same way. So thank God. How many guys have ever gotten the question like, how long does it take? All right, here's how you want to respond to how long it takes. Miss Jones, my demo usually runs about 10 hours. People just let me crash on the couch. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's about 20 minutes. The rest is up to you. Make sure to keep it short. And then you go into, does this time work better for you? Miss Jones, my demo usually runs about 10 hours. Most people just let me crash on the couch. Miss Jones, is cool if I bring my sleeping bag. Okay. How many of you guys have ever had a customer? Oh, another one on the how long. Miss Jones, my part usually takes about 20 minutes. But here's the thing: if you don't like me, if you don't like Cutco, in like 20 minutes, you can get your biggest pair of boots and you can kick me out the door. Promise. Okay. By the way, here's the deal with like kind of having some fun with your customer on the phone. Does anyone know what the key to humor is? Timing. All right. What about callbacks? Has anyone had a customer that says like, hey, you want to call me back? Okay. What's your name? Michael. Mike. All right. So I'm gonna ask you times, and then I want you to call me back. Okay. Hey, Michael. Would Saturday at 4:30 or 6:30 be better for you? I can. Can you call me back later? Sure. Are you going to be home tomorrow between 6:30 and 8:30? I don't know, maybe. Okay. What day are you going to be home? Monday. Monday. Around what time? Morning. Like around 9 a.m. Yeah. Between like 9 and 10. Yeah. Cool. Well, why don't I just swing by then? All right. Cool. Cool. You guys catch that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that gonna be more important?
So,
or is it another-
the callback thing. So no more callbacks, okay? No more callbacks. Find out when they're gonna be home. Just be like, hey, why don't I just swing by at that time? Right? Okay. How many of you guys ever had a customer ask you like, what's the product? All right. Here's some good ones. Law of insurance. Law of insurance, okay? How about DVD rewinders? Throwing stars. Banana peelers. Bottled air. Organs. Not like the body part, like at your grandma's church. I like that one too. I told one lady one time, like I was in a push, and I told her that I was selling law of insurance, and she said, really? I was like, wow, this lady actually like believes what I'm saying. Well, we are in the ring of fire, Ms. Jones. You know, it's really important. And she was literally going to let me come over and sell her law. By the way, if you can make your customer laugh on the phone, you can probably make them schedule with you. You can probably make them buy, right? Okay. How many have you guys have ever gotten the objection like, I'm not interested? Oh man, you, right? Okay, check this out, y'all. If your customer was really interested, who do you think they would have called?
You.
Cutco. You or Cutco, right? Exactly. So I just reminded you of that fact. I'm like, Ms. Jones, if you were interested, you probably would have called me, right? But like I said, you don't have to buy anything. I'm really just trying to earn a scholarship. And it'd mean the world to me if I could stop by 4:30, or 6:30 be better for you. Now that doesn't always work, but at least it gives you a foot back in the door, and it allows you to just re-ask the question one more time, right? And if they think it's funny, if they chuckle a little bit, then who knows? Maybe you'll be able to schedule it. So that's the key phrase. Ms. Jones, if you were interested, you probably would have called me, right? And then smile on the phone. They can literally hear your smile through the phone. I promise you. By the way, if you're having a bad phone time, if you're having people saying no and like you're really just getting hit, it's terrible. I want you guys to try something for me. Okay? I want you guys to give me a mental exercise. I want you to try and be in a bad mood and be negative and smile at the same time. Ready, set, go. I want to hear that smile. Tough, isn't it? It's hard to do, right? Trying to be in a bad mood and smile at the same time. You'll feel like an idiot. And then when you feel like an idiot, you'll be in a good mood, right? Okay. So smile when you're on the phone. And remember that your goal here is to get people booked up. The whole point of the phone call is not to sell anyone Cutco. And I've heard a lot of people do this, like especially some people, you know, and they get really excited about the knives. How many of you guys are like super excited about the knives? Okay. I want to give you guys a pro tip, okay? A pro tip. No one cares about your knives until they see the penny being cut. No one cares about the product until the penny is cut. They do not care. They do not care. So if you try and sell them something over the phone that they don't care about, what's going to happen? You're going to get rejected. You're going to get rejected. So it's not even about the knives. I don't even say knives in the phone, by the way. I think it's weird when I say knives in the phone. Like, especially to Ms. Jones. Like, hey, Ms. Jones, they're super awesome knives. I'm going to come over and show them to you. How's that sound? No, don't do that. Don't even talk about that. This Jones is just housewares, kitchen accessory. I'll throw in fishing items. This Jones is anything for the kitchen that doesn't point to the wall. I'm sure you got a ton of that stuff already. I get paid to show it. I'm just a college student working towards some goals. I'm a huge contest right now. Would it be okay if I come over at 4:30 or at 6:30 be better for you? Okay. So those are some easy ways to handle some objections. Last thing here. Firming up, okay? Firming up. There's two really important components of the phone call. I would say they're the two most important components. Number one is urgency, and number two is firming up the call. Number one is urgency, number two is firming up the call. And I would say that urgency is actually more important for you than it is for the customer. I'm one of those people that believes in energy. I believe energy is what gets the job done. So if I'm making phone calls and I don't have any urgency, meaning I don't have a goal for myself, I don't even know like how many I'm hooking up, I don't know why I'm sitting here, I don't know why I'm making phone calls, I have nothing, I don't even have a deadline for when I want to get these things set up, how excited am I going to be making phone calls? There's going to be zero excitement for me. And if there's zero excitement for me on the phone, who do you think it's also going to be like really not excited for? Your customer. Your customer is like not going to want to talk to you, okay? So it's really simple. And I take it to like acting big, right? So do you guys know what the difference between a goal and a dream is?
Write down your goals.
You want to write those goals down. But the difference between a dream and a dream is just a goal with a date on it. Just got a date on it. That's how you turn your dreams into goals. So you just put a date on it. Do it by this date. So, how many guys have some pretty big push goals? I know some of my guys do right there. How many guys have some pretty big push goals? How many guys think that it's like big for you? Like it's big for you. It may not be big to like some of these people out here, but it's a big deal for you, right? By the way, that's all that matters. Is that it's big to you, and by you accomplishing it, you're gonna be super excited. You're gonna be super confident. That's all that matters. Big to you. So if you got a big goal, if your goal is just like, man, I just want to sell $6,000 per push in 16 days, you know, to your managers and to some of the other people on the team, that's like, that might not be a big number to like some other people, right? But it's a big number to you. That's fine. Break down how many phone calls is it going to take for you to sell $6,000. Break it down. Break it down. So have that goal set up, that call goal every day. What's your commitment? And you know, you want to be shooting towards that goal whenever you have your phone time. So that's the first thing is urgency. You want to be urgent. The last thing is just firming up the phone call. The importance of firming up the phone call is so that your customers don't reschedule on you. How many guys have a lot of reschedules? Like, okay, by the way, if you have 10 demos set up and you're getting more than 2 people like reschedule on you on a regular, if you're getting like 4 or 5, this one thing will change everything for you, okay? The firming up the phone call. Letting the customer know how important the call is to you. You gotta let them know how important it is. So you gotta think about your customers too. It's like, you're on the phone, you're nervous, you're like brand new, and you're like, is it okay if I just come over at 1:30-ish? And they're like, yeah, sure, you can come over, right? Now, they don't know how important that 1:30 appointment is. You're freaking out about it. You're so nervous. You're like, oh man, I really need this appointment. And you're so nervous about it, and you're just so excited that you got the call booked up, but you don't do any firming up. Then what happens is, Miss Jones, she walks, it's like 1:20, right? Miss Jones, she walks over to her refrigerator. She's out of milk. Dang it. But Jordan's coming over for an appointment. I'll just go ahead and reschedule with him. We're out of milk. Kids need cereal. See what I'm saying? Right? Now, it doesn't mean they don't like you. It doesn't mean anything like that. It just means they didn't know how important the appointment was to you. So how can you let them know? You just say, hey, Ms. Jones, this appointment's really important to me. If something comes up and you have to reschedule, I'm not going to get paid for this time slot. Are you sure that time definitely works? Just how long did it take for me to say that one line? Like 2 seconds. By the way, that 2 seconds will save you driving someone's home and then not being there. That'll save you all that. Now, of course, you're gonna get like one or two to reschedule. I know I was on a phone call with Jonathan Schmitz in the back, and Jonathan's a CSP. And I think he had like 100 demos, and out of like 100 demos, he only had like 2 people rescheduled. It was like 1 or 2 people rescheduled out of 100. Okay? By the way, that's out there for you guys. Just tell them how important it is. So be urgent. That'll get people to schedule with you right away, and also firm up. Now, some firming up tips. These are some master psychology things. Okay? So I'm going to teach you how to mind ninja your customer on the phone. Are you ready? You ready to be like a black belt in mind ninja karate? Okay. Get physical landmarks. We all use GPS, that's fine. But get physical landmarks. Then what you want to do is when you're repeating the physical landmarks back to your customer, mess up on it on purpose. So be like, take a right at the CVS. Oh, so that was a left at the CVS, Ms. Jones? Oh, no, a right. So if you mess up on the landmarks as you're getting it back, right, what are you making sure they're doing? They're listening, right? And check this out. When people give you physical landmarks, visualization is a big thing, and it's becoming a big thing, in our business. It's so cool to me when a customer can visualize me driving to their appointment. They can see me in my car, like driving, taking a ride at the CVS. See what I'm saying? They're visualizing, they see it happening before it even happens. Are they going to forget that appointment? No. Ask Miss Jones where you should park your 18-wheeler. Miss Jones, should I park my 18-wheeler in the driveway or in the street? What is she going to do? She's going to laugh. Now, I know you guys think like jokes are corny and whatever, but to like a 40-year-old woman, like these jokes are just. Have you guys ever seen your parents watch television and like the dumbest commercial comes on and they're just like cracking up? Like my dad does it all the time. He sees like it's like the dumbest commercial. My dad just dying laughing, right? And I'm just sitting there like, this is so stupid. Why do you think this is funny? And they're laughing. But here's the thing, guys. Did you know like in the animal kingdom, when someone shows you their teeth, it's a sign of submission. So in actual fact, whenever you make someone laugh, that's why guys that can make, if you're in like a group, and there's just like one funny guy and there's like a bunch of people around, that one guy is always like the most magnetic. People just kind of, because everyone else is showing their teeth and they're basically like submitting to him. He's the most dominant. So if you can make Miss Jones laugh on the phone, what are you doing? Yeah. But it's a by the way, that's psychological, okay? So it's very powerful. One of the last things here in firming up appointments. Miss Jones, do you mind drawing a smiley face next to my name and appointment time so you know what I look like when I get there? Miss Jones, do you mind drawing a smiley face next to my name and appointment time so you know what I look like when I get there? Smile, right? You guys have to realize, and I've done a lot of appointments, and you guys will see this as you do more and more appointments, that your demo is going to be the highlight of Mrs. Jones's day. Like I've seen so many ladies that like their husbands, they're overseas, they're gone for like 2-3 weeks at a time. And like me coming over and just having a good time, cutting up like fruits and veggies and hanging out with Miss Jones, like it's the best part of her day. It's the best part of her week. So if it's gonna be the best part of her day, then I wanna be congruent with that on the phone call. So don't make the phones out to be something that they're not. It's not a big ugly monster, okay? Just know how to handle your objections. Have fun in handling your objections. If someone says no to you, who cares? You're gonna get more no's in Cutco than you're gonna get yeses anyways. So deal with it. It's part of like getting a thick skin. It's part of life and it's part of the job. You can handle no's in Cutco. You can handle no's in life. And you're gonna get a lot of no's on the phone. You're gonna get a lot of people that don't answer. A quick tip on trying to get hold of customers that haven't answered. Have you guys like called the same person like 3 or 4 times and don't answer? I know Kathy gave some points on that. Here's what I do. I'm a little bit more sneaky. I literally, like, what's your name?
Zach.
Zach? I'd be like, hey Zach, there's this lady like I've not been able to get hold of. You might try to use your phone to call her real quick. It's so crazy, like we can just call from like a different number. Because they see this one number calling all the time, right? And most people when they see that like one number, I mean I said like a number that calls you, and you're just like, this is sketchy, yeah. Is this a bill collector or something? Like what do they want? It's law. Like, you know, so you just don't answer that number, and eventually block it. So what I do is I just like, I'll grab Zach's phone, I'll call my my customers from the different phone number. We did this yesterday, and we had like, quite a few people that got hold of more people. So if there's a few people that you haven't gotten hold of, just call them from a different number. Call them from a different number. So any questions? Any weird objections?
I had a lady, she wants to buy from me, she wants to buy the shears, because she has Petco, and she's like, can I just buy the shears and I don't need it? Because I know we're supposed to do the demo, and I want to get it, she understands it, but she really just wants to buy like the shears.
The way you can handle that is you're like, well, you know, I don't have to go through the whole thing. I get paid to do every single demo, so it really helped me out in a huge contest right now to come and do the demo. I made sure to keep it short. So is there any way you can squeeze me in? My car will only take like 20 minutes. Is there any way you can squeeze me in? Then ask me. You know? So you want to go back to your goals, like share your goals, but hey, the whole reason I'm calling you, you know, is like, yeah, you can definitely get shares, but I get paid just to do every demo. I'm in a huge contest right now, and every demo that I do helps me towards the goal. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's kind of, because she's like, she's getting like, you're busy, I really just don't want to, can I sign something?
Oh, how many of you guys have had the customer that says like, can I just sign something? Can I just sign your paper? This is where you get all self-righteous with the customer, okay? This is where you get all self-righteous. Mrs. Jones, I would never lie to my manager. Right? Yeah. Like, dude, most of these ladies are moms, right? So, like, would they ever tell their kids to lie? No, of course not. So get all self-righteous on them. Yeah, same with church. Okay. Any other weird objections?
So you know how you said you don't like to say knives when you're on the phone?
Yeah.
So when they ask the objection, what's the product? You say law of insurance and all that. What do you say after that?
I just say like it's housewares, kitchen accessories, outdoor kitchen items. Or a real simple one is like anything for the kitchen that doesn't plug into the walls is just. I'm sure you have a ton of that stuff already. So what you're doing is you're eliminating, you're downplaying the product, right? Because they don't care about the product, so they see the penny being cut. And you're also overcoming the objection where they're like, because most people will be like, oh, well, I've got a ton of that stuff. I'm not interested in buying anything. So you're kind of like downplaying, you're handling that objection before it happens too. So I like that one because you knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. Any other ones?
What if I've got someone that doesn't trust like Cutco? Like I've had one person that says they don't trust anyone who sells jobs.
Is this someone that you know, or is it?
Yeah.
Who are they?
It's actually an uncle of mine.
An uncle?
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I know you don't trust Cutco, but do you trust me? You love me, right? Hey, look, I'm trying to earn a scholarship. I need 10 demos to hit my goal. It would really mean the world to me if you could just sit down with me. And look, if you don't like me or you don't like the product in 20 minutes, uncle, you can grab your biggest pair of boots and you can kick me right out the door. Is there any way that you can squeeze me in? It would mean a lot.
Never actually had this one, but I've been, this is like a full day, and I've been looking at like online stuff like that. See a bunch of scam stuff, which I know is BS, but what if the customer like has seen something like that and they approach you as though, well, I know this is a scam, I'm not, you know.
I haven't seen too much scam stuff on, I mean, they can go online and see that Cutco is a fantastic product, but again, I would handle it the same way that I handle the non-trust issue, right? Because here's the thing, They don't care about Cutco until they see the penny being cut. So again, I would get back to the fact that I'm a student. I'm a huge push, I'm a huge contest, talk about the scholarship. And then I love the lines like, hey, look, my part's only 20 minutes. If you don't like me, you don't like the product, you think it's a big scam, you can grab your biggest pair of boots and you can kick me out. Cool. Any other ones? Nope. All right, guys. How many of you guys feel pretty good about the phones now? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. How many of you guys are gonna crush this push? By the way, with this, every single one of you guys for the next push can be out here hanging out with the 10K Alliance. So use it and crush the phones. I can't wait to see you guys at the conference and all on stage. That's all I got. All right, so what we're gonna do next is the FSM panel. So Mr. Jordan Giattano.
Cool. I'll take it. Do I get a mic?
You do not.
I get
You do not. No?
No,
not.
we can't use the mic until the lines record because they can hear our sound.
Okay, cool. All right, so I get to bring up a panel of CSP, so Cutco sales professionals, on how to sell some really just awesome stuff, why they're able to be a Cutco sales professional. And so they're going to do a quick, I have some questions already lined out, so we'll do a little open questions too on just how they sell so much, how they have 5K orders, how they have 10K weeks regularly, consistently, where some people struggle to have 10K weeks. You know, they just do it, and then they take 4 days off. You know, sometimes too. So we're going to have a panel of them. Some of them are students, some of them sold during school, some of them are just, this is their full-time career. So if y'all want to just come up here really quick, I'll do a quick intro really fast. So first person, and Alex Chavez will join us in a second. First person, Jonathan Schmitz. So Jonathan, you're at what in career sales?
360,000.
360,000. You played baseball for Angelina, or no?
Tarleton State.
Tarleton State. Graduated from there, got your degree. You were going to get your master's, but you decided to sell Cutco full time and see what you can make happen. And so your largest order is how much?
$4,500.
So $4,500. Your biggest week?
$12,291.
$12,291. Of course, at half, right? Cool. So, and then what's the most amount of appointments you've done in a day?
They've knocked out 8 or 9 before.
Okay.
So 6 is pretty consistent.
Cool. What's your biggest day?
5,800.
So, was it with the 40? No.
Yeah, that was last day of SC1. I was at 14-2 going into the day and finished over 20,000 for the push.
Right, so you did over $20,000 for SC1. So,
So 930 for SC2 last year.
cool. And how many places have you traveled this year so far? Just so much. Like Puerto Rico.
Cozumel, Phoenix, Panama, Prague, Puerto Rico, Jerusalem, Miami, Nashville, and going to Alaska for a week, and then Costa Rica next month.
Do you even sell knives?
Yeah. So you already made, and that's travel and all that, and you still made $50,000 this year. How old are you?
I just turned 24.
You made 50 grand. So what people like teachers make more than teachers, right? And you've traveled more than all of them.
Yes.
So it's like, I was talking to my friend that does very well for himself. He's like, that's the lifestyle, right? So it's like you give away like 100 grand just so you can have the travel that you have and the flexibility.
Jordan.
So
We're only halfway through the year.
yeah, we're only halfway through.
Teachers, that's full year selling.
I know, that's what's awesome. Which is cool. Next person I introduce you to is Chad Brelsford. Chad, you're at 500, 300, 200, 300,000. So, so $300,000 in career sales. You've ran a branch before, and you sell in College Station.
So
You sell all over, so you're all over. What's your biggest order?
8,000.
8,000. What's your biggest week? 8,000.
12,000.
Okay. 12,400 is your biggest week. Okay. And what's the most amount of appointments you've done in a day?
7.
7 appointments in a day. Cool. What's your biggest day?
12,000.
Right about. Okay, so your biggest week was your biggest day.
No, I had 2 of them.
Yeah, 2 of them. Okay, cool. That's awesome. So yeah, that's. So next person I want to introduce you is James Rushing. James, your Court of Honor. So you're over 550 or 500,000? So 505, so $500,000 in career sales. And you started selling a few years ago, so 4 to be exact, 5.5 years ago. You took a hiatus for I felt like 2 years almost. So right about, because you were at the Air Force Academy. But you're at A&M, you're still going to school, you're an econ major, right? What's your biggest order? 6,600. It's not bad. What's your biggest day? What's your biggest week?
25,000.
And 1 week. Cool. Number 2 All-American. So as a student, you was the number 2 last year. So number 2, which is cool. It's sold $100,000, and you took summer classes. It's pretty awesome. So, so I want to ask some questions to you. So grab your notes and notebook and pen. We're going to go over a couple of their approaches on how to take things to that next level. Some simple basics on what they do. We don't really have much time, so I'm hoping that we can give you as much information where you can just take it to that next level. John, actually, your first few appointments, how much did you sell?
The first 20 appointments I did, I had my grandma buy a homemaker, and then I had 2-piece orders, so $1,300.
Gotcha. And your first 20 appointments?
Yeah, entire fast start.
Your entire fast start. You did 20 appointments, only $1,300. So you were rocking. Not at all. So you had a lot of no sales initially, so not a really strong start at all. I think, what was your fast start? What did you sell your first in? $2,700, so nothing. I mean, it's a solid fast start, but nothing fantastic. And then, did you have a big fast start?
2,200.
2,200 as well. So, and now you have orders like that, which is pretty fun. So, which is cool. Hey, I'm glad you could join. So, Alex Chavez is also a student. So, Alex, your career sales are $300,000. You went to Ole Miss, and then you go to ACC, or where are you going right now? Lone Star right now. So, and then you're going to be at U of H in the spring. So, awesome. Biggest order?
Probably 45.
45. Biggest day?
8.
8. So 8,000 at 50%.
Yeah.
Cool. And then your biggest week so far?
Biggest week, 14.
14.
Just
Nice.
under.
Just under
13,
14.
8.
Cool. How'd you hear about the job?
One of my friends texted me.
How'd you hear about the job?
Yeah.
How'd you hear? Oh, you're on campus? Yeah. Through a friend. So all through friends. So in fact, actually, Sam Stilly is like a fraternity brother of mine. So it's kind of funny. All right. So I'm gonna ask you real quick questions, and then obviously feel free for any of you to answer really quick. So one question I have a lot of people constantly ask. We're just gonna hit off with cookware. And I know that you're solid with cookware, and James, you're pretty solid with cookware as well. So, any other questions on cookware? How to sell more of it? Yes. No. Raise your hand if you know we make cookware. Yeah, raise your hand if you know that we have cookware. Raise your hand if you know you're supposed to call it cookware and not pots and pans. Okay, cool. So you're right. I didn't know that. Yeah, call it cookware, not pots and pans. That's key number 1, and that's just for me. Selling. So let's do this. What are 3 keys really quick on how to sell cookware, like the basic, medium, and small sets?
I guess I'll leave with a couple of key pointers and then James actually has some more in-depth info. I guess probably the first thing is understanding why ours is good, what's so great about it. It's waterless or low moisture cookware. It's basically a healthier, faster, more efficient way of cooking. It's the highest quality stuff on the market. So that for 1. 2, forever guaranteed. Obviously, you never have to worry about it ever again. And then 3, actually higher quality stuff than what was found in stores at a better price point. Our competitors that sell the same stuff are going to go $7-8 grand for their complete set. Our full set's going to be about 4. So we're the better option for the exact same type of quality.
Can you do that one more time? Because that was really fast.
Gotcha. So start off
Number 1.
So just all 3 of them again? Or?
Yeah, all 3 again. Guys, it's so fast.
Okay, so the first one being that obviously it's Cutco Forever Guaranteed. That's great. It's waterless or low moisture cookware. Basically, it's just a healthier, faster, more efficient way of cooking. Healthier, faster. And then 3, the fact that we're significantly less expensive than most of our competitors. So for instance, for other brands that sell waterless cookware, their full sets will run $7,000 to $8,000 easy, no problem. Our full complete set, every single piece that Cutco makes is about half that to do the exact same job.
And they're made in the same factory.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. There's only 2 factories that make waterless cookware. They're literally right across the street from each other in Wisconsin. So if it's 5-ply construction or up, it's the exact same stuff anyway. So yeah, we're half the price.
All right, I'm gonna simplify this. That's like what Wallace is trying to say. I'm gonna show you or give y'all a video. You're just gonna play it for your customers. If they want to know more, then you're gonna call your managers. So 3 words. Ready? Everybody write this down. Final. Waterless. Video.
Final waterless video.
It's a YouTube video. Jason Jeffrey, one of the top top Cutco reps that's ever sold Cutco, made a 16-minute video that I went and edited down to 3 minutes and 6 seconds.
You just YouTube that.
Just Google final waterless video. It's on like Cutco James's channel, or I don't know exactly what your
Cutco James is rushing.
Yeah, like just Google final waterless video. It's a picture of a redheaded guy holding a glass of water. It's 3 minutes and 6 seconds. Okay. Now, how do you frame this? Y'all have like some. I've kind of changed my blue book, but y'all have some kind of a insert in your blue book that looks. You have some kind of a Cutco kitchen insert in your blue book.
Yeah, it's on the very front page.
Okay.
First open it.
So it's like a good picture of what all we make, right? Like, hey Jordan, by the way, have you ever heard of waterless cookware?
No.
Well, most people haven't. Most people don't even know we make it. I'll tell you about it at the end. Sound good? Pull up the video, show them the video, turn on the volume, everything that Jonathan just told you about our cookware. Jason says it in the video. He cooks a 3-course chicken dinner. Chicken outputs carrots in 18 minutes with no water and no oil. Watch the video yourself so you kind of understand the cookware a little bit, and then show it to a customer. For those of y'all that are tech savvy, you can rip it straight down to your phone, so you don't need internet. You just play it as like a video.
Let's do good tips. Simple, right? Cool. Here's a couple other things. How many of you, what's your closing percentage, James? 70, 80, 85?
That's it.
About
85 to 90.
almost 90? You don't even care. You're like, I just sell to Mrs. Jones. Who doesn't love me? Okay, cool. Alrighty, so how many of you like have no sales or have had a no sale before? Yes. Okay, cool. Have y'all had no sales? Absolutely. So I'm gonna go over like building a value though on how you can get those big orders. So what are a couple things that y'all do just to build value in Cutco where they're excited to drop $1,000? Now obviously, real quick, what's your average order?
Probably like 500. Next about 430.
430?
About 550. 1,000 if they don't have it, 750 if they do.
Okay, cool. So do you notice do any of them have $1,000 average order? No. So what's your biggest order again?
4,500.
So that means you've had orders that are smaller than that.
1 or 2.
1 or 2, just a couple, right? Okay, cool. So, but he's going to talk about building an average order. So you could, when you run to the right customer, you could get that big order, right? Now you've had a lot of orders that are similar to that. But my major point is to show you is that the reality of it is they don't just sell homemakers, right? That's why the earlier talks about dropping down is big key. You want to get them excited. So if you guys, you can kind of take it away. How do you go about building value in Cutco, or what's a couple of things besides just read the manual, right, that you
Is
do?
the question, how do we build value, or how do we build a bigger order?
Build value in Cutco, specifically. So anybody want to take it away?
You want to take
Go down the line.
Just go down the line. I guess the first thing that I do, not the first thing, but one of the things I do at the beginning is I drop seeds about our competitors, Boostop, Shun, and Allclad. And so I drop seeds that we're going to be talking about thousands of dollars worth of knives, and I say that Cutco is comparable to this stuff, if not like better for a couple reasons. I don't say it in so many words, but it's basically just letting the customer know that we're about to be talking about thousands of dollars worth of knives. And then I'll say things like in my demo, like, so certainly some of my customers buy Cutco for the quality because it knows the best, but most people get it because it's like the last kitchen knives or pots and pans you ever had to buy, so it just kind of makes sense sometimes. So building value on why they're going to use it and why it is the best of the best. Forever guaranteed.
Cool.
A couple of things you can implement pretty much immediately. I know whenever I was newer, I tried to shy away from the fact that I was going to ask them for a $1,200 order at the end of it, and now I want that out there basically immediately. So I'll say expensive as many times as I possibly can. It's not cheap, Ms. Jones, but it's 100% worth it. It's another great line that I like to use. basically, you know, most people don't have 7 to 10 grand just lying around waiting for the knife guy to come by so they can redo their entire kitchen or something like that. Ms. Jones, my goal is to sell $300,000 this year. So if you want to like sell the house and the car and like just buy it from me, that'd be great. I would love it. High five. No worries. We'll find something you guys love. Like stuff like that, like raising their expectation level. Because the higher you build the value in Cutco, the bigger you start, the bigger you finish. Does that make sense?
Covered basically everything there.
You can do it again, that's okay.
I'll go a little bit further.
You're like, no.
Raise your hand if you're nervous and tolerant.
I love it.
Right? Check this out, right? Do you think that they're going to be afraid to buy something expensive if they feel that it's worth it?
No.
No. Cool. So, Mr. Jones, I'm going to show you a couple of reasons why so many people get so much Cutco. That's how I transition into my future. We are dishwasher safe. Of course, it's not inexpensive, but it's totally worth it if you can throw it into the dishwasher. Mr. Jones, cut this leather and check out how our blades work. It's an exclusive edge. It's not inexpensive, but it's totally worth it because it can be resharpened. And now see how we can say, hey, it's an expensive product, but it's worth it. Literally say it's expensive, but it's worth it because. Okay? Now the other way you can know, like, you ever get that customer, you're like, oh yeah, and by the way, it's like 12 and they're like, they almost crap themselves. Well, if you ask them, hey, by the way, that sets this much, and we're better because, ask your customers. By the way, how much do you think our homemaker plus saved? They say about $1,000 your value is built right. If you ask that over and over and over again, and every single person tells you $200, $300, $500, you have a value issue. Okay? So for me, I will show them. I have a Williams-Sonoma catalog right here before I guarantee. They go, hey, by the way, here's what we're looking at. Like, I barely started my appointment. And I go, hey, we compared to Williams-Sonoma. Their basic 11-piece set starts at $1,600. I have an ultimate on their table, and I go, so about how much do you think that would be? I don't tell them. I just ask them. Like, hey, it's a gents, twice the knife. Should be about twice the price, right? Awesome, cool. Let me show you why so many people get so much cut there.
Awesome.
They're thinking $3,000 or $4,000 the whole time, and then it's only 12 or only 5 payments of $260. What is it? 65.
Very nice price.
Okay, ship.
That's awesome. By the way, one thing I would note is, do you notice like their level of confidence? Yeah. Right? Like their expectation going through things, right? You know, when you sell a lot of homemakers or you sell a lot of signature sets, just like, why would you not buy? You know? And that's like, you need to sell a lot of homemakers to have that type of attitude. No. Right? You're just understanding the value of it, right? And it starts with who? The customer or you?
You.
So,
Can I throw one last thing in? Also, whenever you're doing your price comparison as well too, so like this is actually, so go watch Kathy's Kitchen Clothes. She does a great job of showing that. But like, she runs a full Cutco kitchen in stores with easy resale for $8,700 or 8 to 10 grand. Something's twice as long, twice the quality, lasts forever. You'd expect it to be about twice the price. A Cutco kitchen, if it retails in stores, would sell for $15,000 to $20,000, no problem.
Just talk fast.
Sorry, man. A full Cutco kitchen, if sold in stores, would retail $15,000 to $20,000, no problem. Okay, so Ms. Jones, don't worry, we're not buying a car for your kitchen today. And I kind of laugh at it. We're actually not even as expensive as what you find in stores. If they're only looking at a homemaker set, you're asking them for $265 today. After I just dropped 20 grand and raised their expectation on that.
It's not a value add, but so you can kind of relate to your customers. Anybody have an idea what a grocery bill for a family of 2 to 3 kids, so 4 to 5 people costs?
A month or week.
Easily $200, $300, $350, $400, or $500 during the holidays, right? So, hey, Mrs. Jones, no worries, it's not $2 grand. You know, we're nowhere near as much as that. It's only $12, or you can break it up on the 5 interest rate payments. So today it's only $265, kind of like a grocery bill. And you just nod, and then they go, oh, that makes sense, right? By the way, Mrs. Jones, do you like the idea of paying in full or 1/5? You just closed her, she didn't even know.
I want to go to Alex really quick. I know with you, you build like really long lasting relationships. And you see a lot of people that do really well for themselves. You know, and when I was brand new, I saw if I met someone that did really well for themselves, sometimes they struggled with recommendations, right? But you average 10 or more every time, even from people that are like the most, same thing with you, James, but like the most ridiculous, exclusive people that don't give recommendations out, but you get them, you know, and you get a lot of them, not like, here's 3, right? You get like 10. So what's a couple of things that you do as far as recommendations, money recs, and maybe even over the phone as well? But we'll start with recs first.
So with Rex, it really just drops something at the beginning. First up, I always have their friends list at the front of my blue book. Oops. So whenever I'm going over it, I usually have their friend's name right here. And I'm going through my like scholarship. Like, I'll be going through my scholarship approach, and I'll be like, and your friend, Miss Wendy, was awesome. She bought a ton of things. We had a great time. But what was really cool is that she introduced me to like 10 people. And I'll probably see like 7 or 8 of them, the way the numbers work out. And I'll probably sell like 7 or 8,000 between all of them. But the best part is they'll introduce me to the next 70 or 80 people I see this summer. So I've learned that it's a numbers game. Like as long as I do the presentations, then I'm going to hit my goal for the scholarship. And I continue to talk about what I've done in previous years. Like I sold 82,000, placed number 3rd, right under James last summer. And then I say now, I go through my goals for this summer, my goals of what I want to do for school and all that. And then right before I start my appointment, I say, so as funny as it may sound, we don't have to do this next part for time reasons, but as funny as it may sound, my number 1 goal today isn't to like to make a sale or like sell you $1 million of Cutco. It's that you like me, you have fun for the next 10 or 15 minutes. So at the end of the presentation, just like your friend Miss Wendy did, you'll feel comfortable introducing some of your friends. And for like the week going up to the push, like challenge week, I'll get real with them. I'll be like, Ms. Jones, seriously, if I sell 10 grand this week, that'd be awesome. Like if you guys buy like a lot of Cutco for me, like 3 or 4 grand, then that's like perfect. But seriously, like next week is summer conference too. So what I'm doing this week is I'm building up as many leads as possible. So if you drop like 2 grand for me today, I'm not gonna say no. But like my main thing is that like you give me as many of your friends' names and numbers as possible, because that's like the most important thing. Because I'm gonna have to make like 1,000 phone calls to be able to hit as many appointments as I want to do, to be able to hit like 80,000 in my goal. So it's like just breaking it down for Ms. Jones and like getting outside of your like regular script and just telling her like, this is what I'm doing, and being very laid back about it in the same way, like having a not caring mentality, but being intentional about what you're asking for. So like when you do need to make sales, like this upcoming week for SC2, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna be like, Ms. Jones, if you were ever thinking about going big, if you were ever thinking about spending like 10 grand with Cutco, now would be the best time for you to do it. Like hands down, now is when you should do this. And it's just like being intentional about what you want, and you'll get the result. So
I'm trying to get a 10K order for push.
Cool.
So what was really interesting, I just looked at their both blue books, right? And if you heard Alex, it was like sharing his goals, letting the customers know like who referred them, like birds of a feather flock together, right? If you look at James, he goes, here's all like my referrals. He does the same thing, right? At the very beginning, he talks about his goals, right? It's a little bit different, right? But it's like the same.
Alex and I
Same,
were
but different,
mentored
but
by
same.
the same person that owns National SC2 right for the history of the company, so ours are gonna look very similar. Ted, run with it.
Just real fast.
So as far as
Simple.
tying into recommendations, we both have pictures of ourselves. Well, I'm like, this is my family, so I'm no longer some random guy holding a knife sitting in the house. I'm, this lady's son. We're sitting down with a lot of moms, so all of a sudden there's no sales barrier there. Like it's like, oh, this is who this guy is. So I share about him, just like y'all do in your appointment. But now I just have some pictures for him. Then I go and I talk about the scholarship, and I say, hey, these are some people that have been helping me. This is my Cutco family. I know Jordan said something about how you get in front of the top people, right? Print your customer list and talk about your top customers, even if you only have 3 to 5. The reason that people aren't afraid to give me their very best contacts is they're looking at a list of people that included like a bunch of private equity people, the U of H's former football stadium. I'm not saying this to brag, I'm just showing you this is how you get in front of these people. Okay? President of the Astros. It just goes on, and that's not the point, but the point is they're looking and go, oh, we'd already been in these people's houses. So when I go and ask for recommendations, they're not afraid to give me whoever that I ask. It's proof that other people are doing that, so they're not gonna be the only one. Another thing you can do is, instead of trying to sell Mrs. Jones a bunch of CPO, just be like, hey, I'm in this competition and this is what I'm working towards. But my biggest goal today is just that you actually like me enough to introduce me to a couple more people, like Alex was saying, just like your friend Alex did, but we'll do that at the end. That's gonna keep you from asking for recommendations and then you like hit them like a brick wall and go like, wait, I have to give you names now. You're gonna tell them on your goal page that, hey, actually my biggest goal is just that you like me enough to introduce me to a couple more people, but we'll do that at the end. Does that sound good? You get their permission to ask for referrals later.
And the fun thing is in the manual. Doesn't that say that on page 2? Right? So it's again like, notice you just follow the manual, right? And they just share their goals, but their goals are very personal. And if you notice their goals tie into the recommendations. Why does someone give recommendations? They like you and want to
Help you hit your goals.
None of you said that, but they did. Oh, interesting. So,
And then at the end, after I go through the presentation, I basically pull this out and I'm like, Ms. Jones, the easy part of my job is not doing the presentation. Or the easy part of my job is doing the presentation. The hard part is keeping a full schedule. Because I can only see people I've personally recommended to. And I pull this out and I just start flipping. They're like, so these are just like some of the people that I've seen like this past summer and then like a little bit last semester. And they're just like, holy crap, how do you have so many people? And then I say, I get to the end and I've got their name already written out with highlights on 10, 20, 30. And I just say, so if you could jot down like 200, 300 of your closest friends, just kidding. If you do get to 10, I get more points towards a scholarship. If you get to 20, I get double, 30, I get triple. But who do you know who lives in your neighborhood? And then from there, once I get the pen writing, I just want to keep it writing. So who do you know who owns their own company? Who do you know who has second homes? Who do you know who's famous? Who do you know who, and you just keep going through different, who do you know who lives in this zip code? Like, who do you know who lives on this street? Who do you know who lives on that house on the corner that's like the massive house? And that's how you get like intentional about the people you want to see and you get into those $1 million groups.
that's awesome.
All of us have visual highlights, by the way.
Cool. By the way, Chad, I want to do a real quick, specifically to you because we've worked together for a while, and you didn't have the best of start, you know, and literally you went to your first division meeting, right? And you met, you know, the division manager at the time. He told you 2 things. What 2 things did he tell you?
He asked me 2 questions. He asked me, do you know your recommendations approach? Do you have it memorized? I said, no. He said, memorize that. If you're closed, memorize. No, memorize that. I did those 2 things. I went on for the next 12 weeks, 11 of them I sold over $2,000.
So you did 20 appointments and sold 1,100 on 20 appointments. And then for the how many next weeks?
For 11 of the 12 next week.
You sold $2,000 for the 11 of the next 12. By doing what?
Having my close memorized and having my recommendations approach memorized.
Cool. It's awesome.
And
And then-
then,
Yeah, you follow the manual. So that would be another big thing is mastering the fundamentals. But you did well, and then you kind of had like a lull, like a plateau a little bit. And then, which I believe all of you've done, and then to take it to that next level, right? Because you were at that level to do that, right? I think you're at like maybe 50,000 or career sales or even more.
Yeah.
What'd you do to even take it to that next level?
well, guys, I was ready to leave the business. I had plateaued, like, well, 2,000 a week is nice, but I've been offered better opportunities. And so I just decided, hey, why not seek help from guys who are better than me? So I actually hired a mentor, gave up 10% of my income for 8 months. And then that doubled my career sales in those 6 months. So I sold another 75,000 in 6 months' time. So,
So you
don't be afraid to grow and hire somebody, or if you've got a lot of talent just up here
For free.
In our division. I wasn't blessed with that whenever I first started.
Nope.
So just take advantage of what you have, and don't be afraid to go out there and grow. Because that's the one investment you'll always see return on. It's when you invest in yourself, you're always going to have that forever.
How many of you like to sell flatware?
No?
I do. Okay, cool. So if you want to sell flatware, Chad, you had like last summer, you had 16 flatware sets sold?
Yeah.
Could you go over 3 basic points on how to sell some flatware?
So I will, I'll run through my flatware approach real quick. So same thing with the cookware. Whenever you're going through the Cutco kitchen, you kind of introduce, hey, this is our Cutco kitchen. It's going to have everything we make. It's going to have the knives, which everybody knows we make, the cookware, which not everybody knows, and then our Forever Legacy flatware. And so I introduce that up front, go through knives, and then I end up on the flatware. So I asked Mr. Jones, do you mind if I show you our flatware real quick? But no, not at all. So actually got it scripted out. So this is our flatware. It's super duper popular and super duper on sale. So everybody's been getting it, even people who really don't need it. And so what you'll notice is it's a real simple yet elegant design. So not too fancy where you can't use it every day, but it's still nice enough to use at special occasions when the family comes over. Now, one thing my mom hated about our flatware growing up was we had Oneida. They changed the design typically at least once a year. And so whenever somebody was dropping down the disposal, then she couldn't find a replacement for it simply because they don't make it anymore. They want you to buy a whole new set of flatware in order to have it matching. So with our flatware, it's actually a timeless design. So same design now that we're going to have 50 years from now. And that's a big point, guys. If you ever lose a piece, the replacement's still going to match the set. The great thing, this is Cutco, so it's backed by our guarantee. So if you ever drop them on disposal, send back the stuff, we'll replace it for you for free. Now, also, it's still going to match the set. Next thing I'll do, I do have a flatware sample. You can get it on Vector Connect for like $20. It's really key. You just hand Mrs. Jones that stainless table knife. Say, hey, it's not just pretty. Hold out a piece of leather, have her cut it for you. Hey, it actually works too. So, like I said, the flatware is super duper on sale. Basically, the sale is you buy 8 of the 5-piece plate settings. You get 4 settings for free. You actually get the chest for free. And then, as you're feeling generous, you're in a push, working on the scholarship, you say, hey, as my All-American Scholarship Special or my SC2 Special, you actually get the 6-piece serving set for free, which is another $256 value as well. So this actually discounted about 45% off. Cutco doesn't do discounts like that. So, by the way, Mrs. Jones, like, would you need settings for 12, 24, or you need 36? And so you're not asking a yes or no question, you're asking a yes or yes, how many. There's very strategic in every single part of that approach. That's exactly what I say, how I say it. But see, are you cool with me running through the psychology of why? Do you have?
Here's time-wise.
Okay.
So here's what I would say. How many would you be open with sharing them, like email-wise?
I can. It takes like 3 minutes.
I would like to have on paper. Is that okay?
Let's script it out. I'd have to script that out. I've got my approach script.
No, just the approach.
I've got the approach.
So here's the 3 keys that I got. Tell me if I'm right. Hope you guys have this. You talked about super popular.
Social proof.
So it's like a lot of people are getting it, as you said, which they do.
Even if they don't need it.
Yep. Discounted. So the big one is the timeless design, right? It's never going to change. That's a big thing for people. The next one is forever guarantee. And then you even are like offer free stuff with it as well. So yeah. Right? So you even offer free stuff on top of it. So they're like Hostess and the completion set. You get that for free.
Yeah.
So if you want to hook them up.
Yeah.
You don't always do that. You're like, I like you.
Exactly.
Wait. Don't wait. That's oh, right. Did we get those 4 keys?
One more thing on the price. What you want to do, the flatware chest is already really discounted, and so you don't have to, basically don't have to give stuff for free. If you piece out the flatware chest, 12 of the 5-piece plate settings, plus the chest and the 6-piece serving set, retails for about $2,200. But all from Cutco, it's $15.95 retail, or if you get the 6-piece serving set for free, it's $13.39.
Which is in the price list.
Right, which is all on the price list. Awesome. So just piece it out and then quote that price.
Awesome.
Hey, last thing, guys, you can Set a competition with your manager. Just say, hey, how can I win one stainless table mat, right? And every time you do a leather cut, do it with a stainless table mat from now on. And they'll at least know and have used our stainless.
Do you mind giving out your email for that flatware approach?
Knifeguychad@yahoo.com.
That's fantastic.
Not nice guy, knife guy.
Nice.
Key face.
That's it.
Nice guy, Chad. Cool.
Yahoo.
Here's what I'd say. We don't really have time for too many questions, but I wanted to go over cookware, building value, so like how to have bigger orders, right? And then recommendations, kind of the simple things, and the flatware, getting to the good stuff. We don't really have time for questions, but we could do. Fuck it, we'll do.
I really have
We'll do.
a second question.
Yeah, go.
Can you tell, can each of you, if you don't mind sharing, tell us your name, how much you sold for the bush last year, if you were, how much you sold?
I earned last SC2 or?
Yeah.
James Rushing on the College Station, 43,000, whatever.
So you earned $20,000.
Right about it.
How old are you? How old are you?
24.
I'm Chad Brillsford. I sold 17,000 last SC2, and I made half of that, so $8,500.
Age?
22.
Jonathan Schmitz, 30,000 and some change, last time for SC2, so 15 grand in 2 weeks. I was 23 at the time.
Alex Chavez, 23 years old, and I sold like 27,000. So I made like 13.
You had a question?
I did, but my main question was, the other day I had a person tell me that she looked at the flatware before, but that the chest was too many pieces. Is there a way that she could get, like, she was like, the most she'd probably get is maybe like a setting of 8 people. Is there a way she could do that?
Tell her 8 individual pieces, but tell her Mrs. Jones the deal is you buy 8, we give you 4 for free. So you can pay for 8 and get 8, or you can pay for 8 and get 1. But sell her anything. If you look at your price list, second page, top left. So here, there's price list for flowers.
Another thing you can
More
do.
questions? Go ahead. Yeah.
Another thing you can do on that is if you do sell Mrs. Jones on her chest, an easier way to sell her on it's too many for me, you can give it to somebody else. So it's you're taking care of a gift for somebody else. You got any kids going off to college or something like that.
Cool. That's good. 2 other questions? Not all at once. Not all at once. Seriously. Too many questions.
No stupid questions. No such thing.
If they're debating one, like a galley versus like a kitchen essential or something like that,
Okay.
how do you like lead them towards like the higher one?
Give them a good deal.
Yeah.
Better deal? Cool.
Extra incentive. I mean, also being like Miss Jones, it's better to have it, not need it, than need it and not have it. And it's going to cost you more to upgrade to it later. So if it's comfortable in the budget, you might as well just get this one today. I'll tell you what, if you do it today, I'll throw in the shears for free for you.
I have a little bit different philosophy. I show them what's different in the sense. Go, hey, if you think you'd use those, totally get that. If you're comfortable with it in the budget, get that. And as a thank you, obviously I'll throw you in something for free. By the way, I have these gadgets, what would you want for free? But if they don't use those, then you can almost say, yeah, you know, honestly, that bigger size is really just too big. Let's go ahead and do the smaller one today. Because you'll get those customers who are like, I don't know, neither.
Cool. Awesome.
Here's the differences. If you use those, if you would definitely get that. If you wouldn't use those, let's look at the smaller set. Mrs. Jones, if you have those 20, 30, 40 years, would you use those extra pieces?
Chances are, if they're still on the fence about the bigger set, they would use it. They're not going to use it every day. That's not why you buy something for 40 years. You buy it so you'll have it. And so they're basically just asking for a better deal. You notice what James did was, hey, of these 2 gadgets, like which one would you use more? He's asking a yes or yes question on the bigger set. And so just going ahead and assuming the close or assuming the sale on the bigger one.
Perfect. Very good. Any other questions?
Yes.
So, yeah.
So on your on your demos, what are like the things that you absolutely, no matter what, take out from your sample kit? And what are the things that you absolutely, no matter what, cut?
Rope and leather. Penny, rope, leather.
Are you
I try
guys
to
using hardy slicers for rope or using petite carvers?
Hardy slicer.
Yeah, so win one.
Yeah. Or if you went to SC1, you should have gotten one.
That's
But that thing, like, you think the petite carver is awesome on rope, Hardy slicer is a monster. Like, just one stroke.
When a piece is stainless and the pieces in the signature as fast as you can from your manager.
Hardy slicer, petite sentoku, cheese knife, scissors, and the table knife. Sells the signature every time. If they want a set.
Cool. If they want a set.
If they're looking for a set. Cool. Then you'll sell them the signature for sure.
That's a good question. Any others? No? So guys, thank you. Hopefully you got a lot from this. It's very hopefully engaging. I know I did. So these individuals do work really hard. They don't get paid to be here at all. They're literally, they get a couple good things. I just want you to understand, they're literally here for you all. Just because of their people ahead of them that were in the business longer, did the same thing for them. So can we give them,
Oh yeah.
I just want to put something out there for y'all. All of us have been in school. Alex and I are still in school. And actually now when you get there and officially company certified mentor, it's like $500,000 while in school. I always put my email out there if y'all ever need anything. So it's Air Force Knives, CanIdeas@gmail.com.
awesome.
Didn't you just buy a new truck?
Yes.
Yes.
I bought 2 trucks on Cutco money while paying for stuff.
What kind of truck did you get, Nate?
F-250,
Say it.
2014.
I just bought a
Fully loaded.
2015
Is that the
diesel King Ranch.
Andrew.